Hello, GRCSU. Welcome to another Wednesday with Coffee and Coaches. And we are so happy that you are here. We also are really excited that next Wednesday, all of our kiddos get to come back into school, which will be awesome. So today, what we have for you is a little demonstration on a website called Flippity.net. And I don't know, maybe some of you will remember that last year when we first, March, April, when we went remote, Neil actually came on and talked about Flippity during a lunch and learn and was explaining how he used it for his daughter's spelling words and different things like that. And he was pretty excited about it. So we thought we would kind of bring it back to you again. And I would love to show you how you might be able to use it in your reading groups. I just watched an amazing training, actually 2 trainings on guided reading, one for the K-2 level and one for the 3-6 level. And in both of those, I talked about using Flippity as word work centers, as activities that they did for practice, as activities they did in their small groups, and that sort of thing. So let's take a look and see what they have to offer. All right, so let's go. So it's flippity.net. So it is an actual website. It's not an app. It's not an add-on. And when you go to the site, you can see that there are lots and lots of different options here to choose from. It's a little overwhelming, maybe, how many amazing things that they have. So if we're thinking about things from the perspective of reading or reading groups, one of my favorites was this Flippity manipulatives. So all of them are set up very similarly, where you can watch a demo, you can look at the instructions, and you can grab a template. So if we were to go ahead and look at the demo for the manipulatives piece, you'll see that they have some white cards and then some colored ones. So these colored ones are the categories. So kiddos will go ahead and take these and they can make their categories. They could pull them up here and then categorize the names afterwards. There's also, you'll notice down here is a little like a menu button or options. When you click that, there's going to be a drop-down box. And you can have all these different options. So let's say there are, we'll make it into 4 just for the purpose of this. So you can make 4 grids. It was in what's called white fridge. So it's no lines at all. You could also have a Venn diagram. There's lots of different options. And when we get to the actual making this part, I'll show you how to choose which ones you want to put in there. So this is what it looks like from the student perspective. Once you've created it, this is what it looks like from their end. So once you get out of the demo, then you can click on the instructions and it gives you really detailed step-by-step directions on how to create it. Now, I did notice the first time that I went through, to be completely transparent, I got a little bit confused. So when I was ready, I published my spreadsheet. And then when I went to get the link, it didn't work. It kept saying it had an error message because I think what they have is one step that's kind of missing here. So once you've modified the spreadsheet the way that you want it to, you need to go to the tab at the bottom, and I'll show you when we get there, that says get the link, and then you need to publish from there. And it works much, much better. And I'll show you that in just a second. So it shows you the steps. It shows you some frequently asked questions, which are really great. And it tells you how you can add in images. You can add in, I was super excited, you can add in things from Equatio, which we just heard about. So that's kind of exciting. And so you can use this for math. I would say the biggest piece for the math is the Flippity flashcards and perhaps the quiz show. This is set up almost like a Jeopardy sort of idea. But there's board games, there's scavenger hunt. So let's take a look. Let's stop there for a second. I'll stop sharing. And I'll make sure we don't have any questions first because I get a little excited. Do we have any questions yet? No? No questions yet. Okay.
No, but Jenny, I do have to say that I had no idea, like I've gone in and looked at this like a little bit. I had no idea that you could go into the manipulatives one and change the background. Because I've had teachers ask about like word sorts, and I think I've defaulted to Jamboard, and because I had no clue.
No, I didn't either until I really started playing around with it some more. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, all these people that have been asking me about alternatives to Jamboard, this is it. Okay, so we'll have it now moving forward, right? So let's go take a look at it. Do we share again? Okay. All right, so we're back on flippity.net and I'm on the manipulatives. So I watched the demo so I could see what it looks like from kids' perspectives. I looked over the instructions. If you're like me, you might want to print them out, which is what I did. I printed them out so I had them right in front of me and did it step by step. And then when you're ready, you're going to make your template. So you just click on template and then it's going to ask you to copy the document. So you're going to make a copy. And we're going to wait. Okay, so this is what the spreadsheet looks like. And so the demo we just looked at had all this same information on it. And there's two columns. So the terms you want to have is the first column. And if you want any of those terms to be colored, the default is white. But you can add, so the categories, so let's say you're doing word endings, and that is the name of your template that you want to make. So word endings. And then you have your ed, ing, s, ss, something like that, right? So those you might want in colors so kids know that those are the categories they're going to be sorting the words into. So this is where I was referring, and hide that, to the tabs on the bottom.
Jenny, can we go in and actually do this?
Yes, we're going to.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, yes, we're going to do it right now. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay.
I'm impatient.
I know, I'm trying to get it all in before 12:30. I'm going to do it very fast. All right, so there is the manipulatives, which is the actual manipulative that we're going to create. Then you have your backgrounds. So this is where, remember where I clicked that drop-down box and we had the white fridge, we had the columns, I showed you the Venn diagram. This is where you're going to choose which ones you want. Now, we're going to say I'm doing word sorts and I'm doing word endings and I'm going to do just the ed, ing word endings. So really all I want is for them to maybe have two choices. So the white fridge and the to column is probably what's going to work best for this. So I'm just going to highlight all of the rest of this and delete it. So the only options are the two that I want to have. So when they click down that drop-down box, these are the only two things they can choose. So then the next thing is you're going to click over on options. And that gives you some choices of fonts or other things like that. I just left it, but you can change it, play around with it. There's drop-down boxes to choose what you want. If you want them in random or in a certain order. And here's that tab that I was talking about that says get the link here. When we're all done with this piece, this is where we want to go first before we hit publish to the web. We want to do publish to the web from this piece. So you'll see that there's already a link here, but that's the link to the one that we just looked at. That's the demo link. It's going to create a new link for you to send to your students. So let's go do it. So let's say we obviously don't want any of these terms. So I'm just going to delete all of those. And I'm going to do some word endings. I'm just going to throw some in here really quick. You guys can shout some out if you're thinking of some. All right, I'm just going to do a few. It's only 4, but now let's say I do want, oh, and I got to do my categories. So ing endings, ed endings. And then I'm going to take 2 colors. I'm going to cut them and paste them right up here. And then delete the rest of these. And I could choose any color. So I could even say, if I wanted it to be not just red, but I wanted it to be dark red, I just do dark red, no spaces. But you could do it any old way. Okay, so I always like to check and make sure I didn't do any typos and I have things spelled correctly. And now I already did my backgrounds choices. So I'm going to go to get the link here. I'm going to go to File. And I'm going to scroll down to Publish to the Web. Very important step, because if you don't publish it to the web, your students can't access it. So Publish to the Web. Just click Publish. Okay. And then X out of this. And now we have our new link. So when you click on it, you can hit this right here for copy. And you're going to copy your link, and you can put it in your Google Classroom. You could put it in your menu, your learning menu, however you want your students to access it. And then they'll be able to get to it. So if we click a new tab, I'm going to paste that link in there. And there it is. So here's my ing endings. Here's my ed endings. I'm going to go down to the gear, and I'm going to pick the 2 column. I just like nice, neat things. And then I'm going to put my words where they belong. And that's it. Now, if they want to try it again, they can click that gear, and this arrow, curved arrow, clears it. Now, if you want your students, if you want to see the work that they're doing, then the best advice is to teach them how to do a screenshot and then send you the screenshot, which even kindergartners are actually completely capable of doing that once you show them how. And that's it for how to create that. Are there any questions of that part?
So if you had to go back and maybe you decided you wanted to add some more words, would you have to republish, or does it automatically update?
Nope, it automatically updates. So let's do that. So we're going to go back to manipulatives, and I'm going to throw them right down at the bottom. It doesn't even have to be in order. And let's say I wanted, I have trouble thinking of words today. A couple more words. And then I'm going to go back to here. Let's clear it. Did it do it? Let's refresh. And whoop, maybe I'm wrong. Let's try again. So I didn't redo, oh no, they're there. Yep. So it would, if somebody is playing it, is my guess, they're not going to see the new endings until the next time that they go in again. So if you're doing it while they're actively participating in it, then they might not see the new ones. Does that make sense? Okay. There's a couple of other things that I wanted to share. So when you're doing these, it's making these Google spreadsheets, right? So they're automatically going into your Google Drive. When they go in there, unfortunately, it's not like if you were doing Screencastify, or if you were doing one of those where it's automatically going to have this wonderful, beautiful folder for you and everything goes into. So what I did was I created a folder called Flippity. And then inside the Flippity folder, I categorized other folders. So if you have reading activities or if you have math activities, you could categorize it by that. And each time you create one, you just move it to the file you want it to live in. And then you don't have to go searching through your entire Google Drive. So that was one piece of advice that I think would be really helpful. The other thing, so let's see. So that was Flippity Manipulatives. I wanted to show you one more so you could just see how they're pretty similar. The other one that I really liked is the Flippity spelling words. And I'm kind of a big proponent of vocabulary versus spelling. But, you know, when we have our foundations and things like that, this would be perfect for that. So again, it has a demo. It has the step-by-step instructions. So here's the step-by-step instructions. I am sharing, right? Nope, I'm not. Okay, hold, please. Share screen. See, I told you, I just get too excited. Okay. Whoops, wrong one. Wrong Flippity tab. Okay, so again, we have the step-by-step directions, how to do it, and a couple of frequently asked questions. So again, when I go into template, make a copy. Okay, so here's what this template looks like. And you notice that, again, it has tabs on the bottom, and there's one called options. So again, we get to choose some options. You can choose language, speech rate, Chromebook speech rate, and randomized quiz. Now these look different because with the spelling words, you can actually have the kids will hear them, which is really cool. So if we go ahead and look at spelling words, I'm just going to, for the sake of ease, we'll just use the ones that they actually have. But to show you, like if you wanted to switch them up a little bit, let's say I have all of these kiddos, right? But these 4 all have the same words. So I'm going to delete these words. And then I'm going to highlight these words, copy them, highlight all the cells that include for these kids, and paste. And now all of these kids are going to have the same exact list. And so let's say we're going to do the same for these kiddos too. I want to include this one because you'll see that it, in parentheses is a sentence. Make sure you put them in parentheses because if you don't, it thinks that the entire thing is a spelling word. So let's delete this one and let's delete these. And we're going to copy, paste, and paste. Okay. So the difference with this one, when we're ready to go get the link, we're going to do the same thing, publish to the web. publish. Okay. Just X out of this one and then copy our link. And we're going to paste it in here. And now I have to figure out which one of these students I am. So if I choose Telly, then here's my words. So this is my word list. And when I hit play,
arrive, A-R-R-I-V-E, arrive.
So it tells me the word, it spells it, and it says the word again. When I'm ready to practice,
arrive.
Then it's going to tell me to spell arrive. And I type in arrive and hit the check mark. It's going to tell me if I'm right or not. When I'm ready for the quiz,
spell happiest.
Then this quiz actually gets emailed directly to the teacher.
Spell.
And they get
wrote.
the
She wrote a
test.
book. Wrote.
And see how it gave the sentence that time? So that is where you are looking at this part. So that again was the quotes and it gives the sentence. So each of the kids have their own little spot. Now there is, you notice this yellow bar right here underneath the names. If you want the spelling quiz to come to you, then you're going to put your email where it says email results to. And you could just type it in once and then copy and paste it into the other cells. And then it'll come directly to you. Now, the super cool thing that I think about the spelling is, hold on, too far. There is actually, so if I choose Elmo and I click on more, I get to do some other fun stuff. So I can go to a matching game and I could try to find my words to see if they match. And if I find a match, it'll take it away, which is cool. Or Snowman is kind of like a hangman style game. And then this one, you try to figure out what the word is. So if I pick a letter, and you see F is not one of the letters. So he's starting to melt a little bit. And you just can keep trying letters that way. And he's melting a little bit more. Oh, no, he's not. I got a letter that time. Okay. So there's just more activities that they can do within the spelling words. All right, I'm gonna stop again, check for questions. Or is there anything else you guys see there that you would really love to see how it works?
No, I do have a wondering about the spelling list. Like, I think it's really cool. I know that some people use Spelling City, but I know Spelling City's kind of changed over the years and seems like a nice alternative. But I wonder if a student is taking the quiz, what's to prevent them from clicking back to the list?
That's a great wonder.
Yeah, you'd have to play with that.
Let me play with that and find out, because that's a really good question.
I wonder if they go, like, if they go back to the list, does it start their quiz over again? Maybe, I'm not sure.
They might. I will look into that, and then we could put that answer in the.
I mean, it would be a good, definitely like a good formative assessment for students to use to self-assess their readiness for a spelling test. And it also leads into lessons about digital citizenship and honesty and integrity and all those wonderful things that we should be teaching our students.
Yes, it does. That's a great point. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's why they have that option of sending it to you or not sending it to you, because it really could be like that pre-quiz, right? I know there's one first grade teacher that I know that had a spelling menu, and it was homework ideas to practice your spelling. And it was things like write your spelling words in shaving cream, or you could choose to have like a bag of colored hair gel and write your words in that, or write them rainbow colors on your page. Like there was all kinds of options to meet the learners where they were of how to do their homework. This would be a great option for that. I too like Spelling City, but Spelling City you have to pay for, right?
Well, they were just acquired by something vocabulary or something, and not just. It happened like partway through the year, and I've heard that it's changed and not quite what it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens. And these are all free. There's no limitations. I like that it's a website. So I don't have to download anything. I don't have to, it's just, I go to the website and, when you get there, when you get to the Flippity, I would make sure that you bookmark it. So click that star and make sure that you save it so you can get right to it quick and easy.
There are some really cool things on here. It's like they've got a badge tracker. Man, I wish that I had that when I was in third grade. We did a badging system.
Yes, right? So this is kind of cool too. Here, let me share my screen again so everybody can see what we're looking at.
Oh, you got something.
Am I?
No, it's okay now.
All right.
It was flickering and flashing. And
all right. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So if I go back to Flippity, so this is what Corey was talking about, the badge tracker. And there is also a progress indicator. So I saw this and I got so excited, and I actually sent it to one of the interventionists that I work with, and it said, this is it. This is how students can track their own progress, right? They can make their goals, they can track their progress, and they can do it right here. It's so cool how many different things. And Corey, I'm thinking when you and Courtney used to do your badges, so how cool to have it digital. That'd be awesome. Yeah, there's lots. There's a word cloud. There's just cool fonts. Like you could do these different fonts with kids' names, and you could even print them out and have them around the classroom. That would be kind of cool. You can make your own Mad Libs. You could do your own tournament brackets, which is cool. And then there's also a certificate. So I tried this one out too. And once they finish an activity, they can get a certificate that they can print out, and you can create that certificate. So some really neat things. Flippity. Pretty cool. The scavenger hunt, if you a few weeks ago, we had the yep, here we go. No word retrieval.
Digital escape room.
Yes, we had a digital escape room. So this would be like a first step. Like if you want to try something like that, but you're not really sure you're ready for that big kind of step, try out a Flippity scavenger hunt. It shows you the demo, the instructions, and then you can create your own template, and kids can answer questions and unlock things. So lots and lots of great ideas. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they keep having more things that they add. It's pretty exciting. I like it. One thing that I just remembered that I forgot is I didn't rename them. So make sure when you do yours, you go to the bottom where those tabs were and you change the name of the tab to whatever you want to call it. So the one that I did with the endings, I would call it EDING endings sort or something like that, because that way they're all going to be titled the same thing in your drive and you're not going to know what's what. So important stuff.
Ooh, okay. So at the top above all the the cool boxes, right, with all the things. There's 3 tabs. It says featured e-learning recommendations and then skip the spreadsheet. So it looks like they've got a couple of like quick ones that you don't have to worry about having a Google spreadsheet. It's simple things like it's like random name picker, bingo, matching games. It looks like they've got a couple like really quick ones that you can do.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, because you can just change it right there.
Yeah, it's not going to see.
Ooh. Okay, let's. I know we're over time, but let's just show everybody that really quick.
Things like the random name picker or the randomizer wheel. Like I would always use stuff like that in the classroom, right? Classroom management tools.
Yeah. So this is where. Ooh. Yep. Not there. This is what Corey's talking about. So right here is skip the spreadsheet. And instead, let's say we're going to do the random name person, right? So we're going to do Corey, Al, Denny. Let's have a Fred. Alice. I don't know. Right? We're honeymooners. I don't know. And then you do random name picker. And there's your names. That is so cool. So if you don't have a Promethean board and you want this spinner, go to flippity.net. That is awesome.
Ah, this is so cool.
Okay. So we hope that you all take a chance to take a look and try it out for yourselves. And we are here to help and support you in any way that we can. So if you would like to try this out and you'd like a little help, or if you want some ideas of how you could use this in your classroom, maybe even outside of reading, then give us a shout. And we would be obviously very happy to try this out with you. It's really cool. We get excited and geek out. And until then, we will see you next Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.